What's up everyone, Fishing with Austin here. Thanks for tuning in again for another video. Today I'm going to be replacing my trailer wheel hub assembly. So the assembly is bad on it. Typically how you can tell you have a bad assembly is when you're putting in red grease, all-purpose grease if you're in a pinch. Marine grease will typically be bluish, greenish, turquoise color. Typically though, your bearing will start to sling grease all over your wheel. Your grease will be discolored. It'll go in one color, come in out all gray looking. All this pretty much means right here is that you have water getting into your bearings and getting into everything, and that your seals are bad. Your seals are letting water in. It happens, you know, hubs go bad. They go bad after about 1.5 years, 2 years, depending on how much you drive. But today, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need your hub assembly. They come pre-packed. I got this from Tractor Supply for about $118. You'll need needle nose pliers to unbend the cotter pin and get the castle nut off of the hub. You'll need a 1/2 inch socket set with extension so you can get some leverage and break the lug nuts. And then once you break the lug nuts loose, you put the driver on your impact and then you can get the lug nuts off quickly. You'll need channel locks so you can unscrew the castle nut. Once you get it loose, get the cotter pin out. It shouldn't take much to unspin it. And then once you're done with everything and you get the new hub on, you're going to want to pack it full of grease again just to ensure that you pack the hub. And also rags. You're going to need a lot of rags because of stuff like this. So let's go ahead and get these lug nuts off, get the old hub off, take a look at it, see where it failed, what caused it to fail perhaps, and then we'll get our new hub assembly on here. Now we can go back to break. And that one's good. So now we're going to lift up our trailer. Now that tire is somewhat free, we can put this on our impact and quickly get these lug nuts off. Don't worry if you lose your lug nuts or if your lug nuts have gone bad. The new trailer hub assembly kit comes with new lug nuts. Away. Trailer tire seems to be in good shape. As you can see, this thing is rusted to high heaven. Look at all the rust back there. I guarantee the rust contributed to the back seal going bad. So another test you can do is if you spin it, if you don't hear it grinding like sand or anything like that back there, you still have grease in there, and you can keep putting grease in there, but it's not going to mean anything if it just keeps coming out the front here and not lubricating the internals of the hub assembly. Get a rubber mallet and then hit the edges of this as you spin it, and this will take your bearing buddy off. Oh, look at all that bad grease. Now what we need to do is get our needle nose and grab the ends of this cotter pin, bend it straight, see where the other end is. I think that might be straight enough. And then you can shove your pliers in the eye. These are rusty, so I have to use 2 hands. You just sort of pull it out. Once you get that cotter pin out, set it off to the side. If the cotter pin's bad, there's a new one in the kit. So now what we're left with is should be a castle nut, which let me clean all this off so you can see it. As you can see, you'll have your Castellation nut on there. Just pull that off. Make sure you don't lose this. Alright, cool. So we have our Castellation nut off. Now we should be able to pull this right off. Alright, cool. So as you can see, this back seal is deteriorated. The whole hub's deteriorated, and it's just letting water seep in there whenever you're launching your boat. You can actually see some of the cracks and creases right here on your seal. It's just old. Seals are made of rubber and stuff like that, and that stuff decomposes over time, so it's just what happens. It's one of the nuances of owning a boat, is things go bad and you got to replace them. Back here where the seal sits, feels a little rough, so maybe we can clean up back there or something before we put the new one on. All right, now that you've cleaned and got all that stuff off, you're going to want to wipe off this. You really want to make sure you don't have any particles or anything like that that could get inside your hub and destroy your seals from the inside out, like little rust particles and stuff like that. You want this to be as smooth and clean as possible. Every little crack, every little crease. You got paper towels in there. Use your paper towels to get all this stuff off. Don't be scared to use a bunch. Get it as clean as you can get it. Do a little field test. Make sure there's no abrasions on here. Make sure there's nothing rough. Looks like we're good to go. So now what we're going to do is get our Tractor Supply hub and just put it on here. Just going to slide it on. The bearings are already packed. It's already got grease in it. You should just be able to take the old one off, put the new one on. One thing you can do is go to Tractor Supply, park your trailer at home, take the wheel off, take the hub off, take it to Tractor Supply, and just compare them, right? I know that these seals are the same and that they're good to go. So now we slide our new one on, ever so gently. It's gonna push this front guy out a little bit. So you can just push that in, pushed all the grease out. This is where your Castellation nut comes into play. As you tighten this castle nut, you're going to want to spin it. Let me get it started here so I can show you. Okay, so as you go to tighten down on that bearing, if you want the bearing, the front bearing inside, to sit down evenly, you'll spin this as you tighten the castle nut. What the castle nut does is it pushes that bearing in and keeps the bearing tight, okay? So as you're pushing the bearing in, any chance of the bearing being off center or off kilter will be mitigated by spinning the hub as you put it on. And there you go. You don't want it to be too tight, all right? You don't want it to be too tight. Your new lug nuts, you can use these, you can, whatever, keep them in standby. New cotter pin, just find your hole here, put it through, right? Get your needle nose. You want to pull cotter pin in as far as she'll go. Try to get it straight when I do it. I got my neighbors singing over there. And then just bend it. I don't bend cotter pins every day, so I don't really. There we go, that'll work. So now we have our new hub on here. We're gonna clean off our bearing buddy and get all that bad watery grease out of here. There's a lot of it. Look at that. It's like clay water. It's crazy. Or cement water. Okay, that's a lot of bad grease. A lot of it. Now we're gonna clean our bearing buddy and get all the grass and stuff like that. I wasn't smart enough to anticipate putting down a rag or a towel to lay this stuff on, but now we know for next time, right? That's why we do this, so we can learn. Shove this in here. Get that bad grease out. All right. So now we're just gonna put this right here. All right. Get your rubber mallet. Knock her in. Little love taps. We're just gonna work it in just so we make sure we're working it in there straight. So now here's the real test. We're gonna pack this hub full of grease, and it should push this piston forward whenever it's full. And we'll see if there's any leaks, any air leaks, if it'll come out the back, or if it'll come out with this crack right here, or if it'll all just come out right here and it'll be completely pressurized. You're gonna notice the old grease coming out, and you'll see the piston moving forward. You'll hear air bubbles coming out. You want to purge all the air and any contaminants or anything like that in the system. Get all that out. So you'll see all this here. Just clean it up a little bit. Do that with your finger. Alright, so now that we have this packed, we looked at all of the creases and all the potential openings for a grease leak. It's all coming out the front. Shut up, Jesus freaking Christ, dude. We got our old, rusty, compromised hub right here. And you have the front bearing fall out of it just now. Now what we're gonna do is get our trailer tire back on. Just like that. Let's go ahead and get our cap on. When you put your cap on, push in the middle and it will put all the air out of this little gap right here, and the suction from it trying to bring more air into it will create a vacuum, and that'll keep water, for the most part, out of the front here. So now we'll get our new lug nuts put on here. You're going to start it with the rounded end inward. You want to start them by hand. You don't want to start them with the impact, because then you'll have a lot of potential for cross threading. Impact. You want to do it in a star pattern, so cross them. So now what you're going to want to do is lower the trailer to where the tire hits the ground. And then you're going to want to torque them down with your 1/2-inch wrench and your extension. Just like that, you have a new hub assembly on your boat. Pretty easy fix. If you have all the tools and you have all the parts, you can knock this out in like a half hour, maybe an hour tops. All right, so we got our new hub. I'm going to take my new boat cover off, which is in another video I'm uploading, probably before this one. I'm going to clean up all these tools, clean everything up, put the jack away, head out to the lake, head out to the river, head out to the creek, go fishing. Hopefully make another video that everyone will like. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm a bit out of breath, I don't know why. But anyways, thanks for checking out the channel, thanks for checking out this video, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Any criticism or any feedback, if you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, feel free to give me a thumbs down. Thanks for tuning in with Fishing with Austin, and here's until next time.